Deep in the Florida Everglades, a silent predator slithers through the underbrush. It moves with precision, unseen and unstoppable. Follow us for more interesting animal videos. This is no ordinary snake. This is a Burmese python, an invasive super snake taking over Florida's ecosystem. These snakes are apex predators in their native Southeast Asia, but in Florida, they've found an all-you-can-eat buffet with no real competition. They grow up to 20 feet long, weigh over 200 pounds, and have no natural predators in Florida. With each passing year, their numbers explode, wreaking havoc on native wildlife. These super snakes can take down prey far larger than themselves, including full-grown deer and alligators. Rabbits, raccoons, and opossums that once thrived in the Everglades are now vanishing. Some areas of the Everglades have seen mammal populations drop by as much as 90%. Even the Florida panther, one of the rarest big cats in the world, may be at risk. But how did these enormous snakes end up in Florida in the first place? It started with the exotic pet trade, where pythons were sold to reptile enthusiasts. Many owners weren't prepared for how fast these snakes grow and how much they eat. Some owners released their pythons into the wild when they became too difficult to care for. Then, in 1992, Hurricane Andrew destroyed a reptile breeding facility, releasing even more pythons. Since then, these snakes have established a breeding population, and their numbers have skyrocketed. A single female python can lay up to 100 eggs at a time, ensuring their dominance. With no natural enemies, they continue to spread, consuming everything in their path. Their ability to go months without eating allows them to survive even in areas where prey is scarce. Because they are masters of camouflage, pythons are nearly impossible to spot in the dense swamp. Even experienced snake hunters struggle to find them before they strike. Florida now holds annual python hunting competitions to control their population. Hunters are paid bounties for every python they capture and remove. Despite these efforts, the python problem is only getting worse. Experts estimate that there are now over 100,000 Burmese pythons in Florida. And the scariest part, that number is likely an understatement. Some researchers believe the true population could be closer to 300,000. Pythons have even been spotted near Miami, raising concerns about their spread. Could these invasive super snakes expand beyond Florida? Recent studies suggest they may be able to tolerate colder temperatures better than we thought. This means they could potentially spread into Georgia, Alabama, and even parts of Texas. If that happens, controlling them will become even more difficult. So what should we do? Should we try to eradicate them completely? Florida wildlife officials have experimented with different removal strategies. Some researchers are studying ways to use radio tracking to find and eliminate breeding females. Others are exploring genetic modifications to stop pythons from reproducing. There's even been talk of introducing a natural predator, but what predator could handle a full-grown python? Some suggest reintroducing jaguars to Florida, as they are known to hunt large snakes. But would this actually work, or would it create even more problems? Some have proposed using snake-specific pathogens to reduce their population. But what if those pathogens accidentally harmed native snake species as well? There's also concern that eradication efforts could disrupt Florida's already fragile ecosystem. If we removed pythons overnight, how would the rest of the food chain react? Would we see an explosion in rodent populations now that their biggest predator is gone? Or would another invasive species simply take their place? Some experts argue that total eradication is impossible and that we should focus on control instead. Meanwhile, Florida residents continue to have terrifying encounters with these massive reptiles. Pythons have been found in backyards, swimming pools, and even inside people's homes. One family was shocked to find a 10-foot python curled up under their car. There have even been cases of pythons preying on pet cats and small dogs. In one instance, A man in Florida found a python swallowing his neighbor's goat whole. As their numbers grow, the likelihood of human encounters will only increase. While pythons don't typically see humans as prey, could that change as they grow larger? Some of the biggest pythons in Florida have reached lengths of nearly 20 feet. In other parts of the world, large pythons have been known to attack humans. Should Floridians be worried about pythons posing a direct threat to people? So far, there have been no recorded cases of a python killing a person in Florida. But experts warn that as these snakes continue to grow and spread, the risk increases. Could we see a future where pythons become a serious danger to humans? Imagine walking into your backyard and seeing a 15-foot snake waiting in the bushes. For some Florida residents, this nightmare is already a reality. One snake hunter captured a python so large that it took 3 men to lift it. Some pythons have been found with tracking tags inside them, meaning they ate other tagged snakes. That means these super snakes might even be cannibalistic. This makes them even harder to control, as they can survive even when food sources decline. Efforts to train detection dogs to find them have had mixed results. Pythons are so well camouflaged that even infrared cameras struggle to detect them. A recent study found that pythons can stay underwater for over 30 minutes, making them even harder to track. Some Floridians are taking matters into their own hands, hunting pythons as a side hustle. Professional python hunters can make thousands of dollars capturing these invasive giants. Despite these efforts, the Everglades remains a battleground between native species and these super snakes. Scientists are also looking at pheromone traps to lure pythons into areas where they can be removed. But with tens of thousands of these snakes already in the wild, will it be enough? Some biologists fear that we are only scratching the surface of the python invasion. Could these snakes eventually move beyond Florida and invade other southern states? Or could an unexpected natural event like extreme cold wipe them out? So far, Florida's winter temperatures haven't been enough to slow them down. And with climate change causing temperatures to rise, pythons may become even more widespread. Will we find a way to stop the invasion before it's too late? Or will Burmese pythons permanently change Florida's ecosystem forever? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The battle against the super snakes is far from over. The Everglades is one of the most unique ecosystems on Earth, but for how much longer? Without a clear solution, Florida could soon become the snake capital of the United States. What do you think? Should we eradicate them at all costs, or is it already too late?